More years of that times 20. Come on, get serious. Here we go. So, we have an answer tonight on how to stop biases in Hollywood and create change immediately. But first, let's unpack what biases are. We'll watch a short video and talk about how that can actually change how we, from here on out, purchase film, TV, animation in the future.
Our problem is that the new American dilemma isn't so simple. We have all of these markers by which we can demonstrate that we're not the people we used to be. Well, we don't know the ways in which we're not such good people because that part is unconscious. You may think this about yourself, but is that really who you are? We actually created a test that measures bias. You see words that capture good and bad. You have to associate Yankees with good and Red Sox with bad. This is very easy for a Yankee fan. But when you tell them to associate Yankee with bad and Red Sox with good, that's an impossible thing for them to do. They can't do it. They'll make mistakes. They'll take a lot longer to do it, and so on. Take a test like this and now just replace Red Sox and Yankees with the groups black and white. Imagine that for half the trials on this test, you have to associate black with good whenever you see a black face or a word like love, peace, joy, friend, all these good things. And while you're doing that, you have to put white and bad together and words that mean terrible things in the world. Words like agony, devil, bomb, vomit. How hard is that for you to do, is the question. We're not talking about your conscious attitudes. We're not talking about your conscious beliefs. We're talking about something that you yourself may not necessarily know you have. For something like 75% of white Americans, it's very hard to put black and good together.
But also, we have biases against each other. But there's a way we can fix it, folks. Let's talk about it. Change the branding. The diversity label can now can go on the purchasing label for each of the products sold for those productions who go through training to receive that label. So we can either buy it or buy something else. How's that sound? You like that?
Yeah.
Clap your hands if you like it. Thank you. So watch. We're going to unpack what unconscious bias is and kind of present how that can work into a diversity training to change these biases. But it's kind of a balance we have to have between the two. So watch. Let's go. Okay, that underneath the iceberg stuff, that's the stuff we don't know about ourselves. According to research, you can Google Eric Kandel, who won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2013, and talks about 80 to 90% of what we don't know are our unconscious biases, versus 10 to 20% what we know about ourselves, often prompted by images. Quick. The amygdala in the back is that threat center that pumps your blood, gets you sweating, connecting to a visual, like an image, to create a reaction, often done to protect yourself during fear. But the problem is, when it's a person involved, in a corporate America, that's a challenge. You're not in the woods, you're not hunting a bear, you're not running from a bear, it's a person. But watch. How does that work in Hollywood? There's other types of biases, but they're not as obvious. They're underneath the surface, such as in filmmaking. Before I was a diversity trainer, I was a diversity filmmaker. And up until the early 90s, rather, film was balanced by what's called a Shirley card, Remember back in the day when we had photos and they were a little browner than actually what they actually were? The idea was they would color balance based on a white-skinned woman named Shirley up through the 90s, actually. So what I had to do as a diversity filmmaker, create my own Shirley card. My goal was to find the most chocolate folks, the most chocolate part of the city, and make the most chocolate film with chocolate smart people. At the same time, have a chocolate balance. That young lady right there, I think she received some of these biases because when I shot the film, beyond my filmmaking skills, she was brilliant. But she didn't get a second look. And I think she should be a household name right now. Matter of fact, you may know her. Who watches Empire out there? Anyone? Who has the CD? V. Bozeman? Anybody familiar?
Oh, yeah.
That's her as a child.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And her whole family were my crew members. We shot that film and watched for about 2 years. And she was the most talented kid I could find.